Oh dear loved ones, we are gathered here today because I have the most exciting news of my little baby life so far. I sold a book. I sold 2 books at auction. I don't even know how to say this. I don't even know if it's... Okay, we're not gonna get manic 10 seconds into the video. So yes, I sold The Glass Witch to Scholastic and a second book, all at auction. It all happened so fast, and I'm so excited to be able to share that news with you guys. I can't believe I'm filming this video. I'm trying to take a moment to like breathe it in that this is happening. I'm filming this video. This video I've been wanting to film since I started this channel. I sold my book. I sold the book that I have been working on, that I have been showing and sharing the process with you guys from its inception, from its brainstorming phase. That book, I sold at auction to Scholastic. It's been so hard to keep this secret. I was just so excited, and like, it's just wild because the entire point of this channel is to document my process of writing and hopefully getting published, but I couldn't share that on my channel. Okay, so I got my first offer on March 9th. And then we got another offer soon after, and we went to auction, which, if you weren't aware, that's when you have multiple offers from different publishing houses on your book, and then they get in kind of like a bidding war for your book. So I ended up having 3 different houses fighting over me. Oh my gosh! But that all happened on March 18th, and then I took the night to think it over, and I made my decision and went with Scholastic on March 19th. It's so funny that that was so long ago, because I've literally like already done 2 rounds of revisions with my editor at Scholastic, and I couldn't tell you guys about it. Like, I was secretly working on this, and it was so hard to be vlogging things. And like, if you look back at my video where in March I tried to finish my 2nd middle grade book, I was going through the auction while I was filming those vlogs, and I could not talk about it. And like, if you go back and watch those and you like read between the lines, it's so like so obvious that something was happening that was big in my life that I just couldn't talk about. It's so funny to rewatch those. I thought I would go ahead and read the announcement with you guys. So it says, Tiffany Cologne at Scholastic has bought at auction World English rights to the middle grade contemporary fantasy The Glass Witch by Lindsay Puckett. The story is pitched as Hocus Pocus meets Dumplin', in which a plus-sized, magicless witch accidentally enacts a curse that threatens to erase her and magic for good if she doesn't enter a pageant and break the spell before midnight on Halloween. Publication is set for fall 2022. Samantha Fabien at Root Literary brokered the 2-book deal. 2 books! Woo! I'm just so happy, like, you guys can actually read The Glass Witch like one day. Like, this time next year, we're gonna be like prepping for it to come out, and you guys could be like pre-ordering it, and oh my gosh, you'll actually get to read my, it's so wild. People are gonna get to read my writing. Like, you'll get to meet Addie and all my characters. To get you hyped about the book, it's a cutesy middle grade. It's got a ton of witches with familial ancestral magic. It's got a Hocus Pocus New England spooky witchy vibe. It's got a curse that turns bones to glass. It's got an evil witch hunter. It's got like feuding families. It's got fat girls in pageants. It's got a cutesy magical bunny sanctuary, hijinks, humor. I think I'm funny. Some people have said that they also thought it was funny. My editor cried while reading it, so apparently it's like heartwarming. It's just everything to me, and I really hope that it's everything to you. Also, if you're interested in knowing more about The Glass Witch, I actually did a few months ago a video that was 25 fun facts about my book. I share all of the quirky, fun, behind the scenes details. I would love if you checked it out. It's such a fun video. I think I'm gonna go rewatch it after filming this because I'm just so excited. Now I'm gonna be talking more about the auction and my whole story and all of the videos that are going to be coming later on. But really quickly, I wanted to read with you all what some of the heads of departments at Scholastic said about the book. They actually sent me a bunch of blurbs about what they thought and how they loved it. So the director of national sales at Scholastic said, "I couldn't put The Glass Witch down. I read it in a single evening. The pace is perfect for middle grade readers. It's a fun, brisk adventure that keeps you turning the pages to the end. The plot hooked me, but it's the heart of the story, the family, friendship, and self-confidence that has kept this book in my thoughts. I love the humor. Addie is in pain and not always sure what she is doing, but her humor shines a light on her courage and lets the reader in." Senior Director of Trade and Marketing said, "I'm so excited about The Glass Witch. I'm a huge fan of witch stories, and the uniqueness of this story is really what thrills me. It's really going to resonate with young readers and connect with the struggles they go through. And the writing, let me just say about the writing, it's amazing. I was immediately pulled into the story and never wanted it to end. I love Adelaide Good." Associate Manager of Mass Market said, "Join our coven. The author is geniusly hilarious. I dare someone tell me that the first line alone isn't the most brilliant thing they've ever read. What an opener, what a hook. I was sucked in immediately, and the delight of this read just kept going. The internal monologues and humorous revenge plots had me laughing to myself by page 2, while the body positivity and worse witch energy made me stay until the very end. The writing just feels so fresh and really just stands out from anything I've read in a while. I'll say this manuscript is cool, calm, and commercial." They're talking about me. Okay, and then the publishing director at Scholastic literally made my life. Also, it's David Levithan, which somehow in all of my time trying to be published, I somehow missed that like David Levithan was like head of Scholastic. If you're familiar with YA publishing, he's like got a few big books and some that have been turned into movies. So I was just like, okay, David, like make my life, why don't you? The best of children's literature doesn't just speak magic, it becomes magic itself. And what a marvelous book this is from start to finish. It's always one of those great joys in publishing to see the start of a magical career and to be able to help the author find the audience she so richly deserves. We're so proud at Scholastic of the family of authors that we've made. Authors like Anne M. Martin, Suzanne Collins, Pam Buenos, Ryan, Brian Selznick, who've been with us since the beginning and are still with us decades later. It's a thrill to read a submission and think, wow, this is someone we could be publishing for many years and many books from now. And that's exactly the thrill I felt after Tiffany told me to drop everything and read my way into Addie's world. It just makes my life complete. I'm just so excited for this book to be able to reach readers, and especially like children. Like there are going to be actual children picking up my book and reading it. It's gonna be in the Scholastic book fairs. I think that's so important. Like when I was 12 and I was in the Scholastic book fair, there was never a book with a fat girl on the cover. Like none of the girls got to be chubby. None of the girls were kind of like low-key a little ugly. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't have glasses, they didn't have frizzy hair, they weren't chubby, they didn't, you know, have to shop in the women's department because they couldn't fit in the clothes of, you know, the teens or the kids. And I just think like, okay, there's gonna be a little girl nowadays who can see that book and get it and read it and like see herself on the cover and not be the comic relief or the villain. She can be the hero. She gets to wear the pageant tiara and gets to like metaphorically slay the dragon, right? And I think that's so important. Like I feel like maybe as a kid I would have had so much more confidence if I would have known that I could slay the dragon or you know, wear the tiara. And in hindsight, it is really just so perfect that I'm going to be debuting as a middle grade author. Middle grade books are where I fell in love with reading and truly fell in love with writing as well. And you know, I tried querying a YA first, and that book was also the book of my heart. But now looking back, I see like, this is where I belong. This is where I should debut. This is where it began, and this is where, you know, that part of my journey ends and a new one begins. Always with middle grade, it's always, everything starts there. And I just feel like that's very, you know, complete full circle. But really like the thing that gets me is I could be the author that turns someone else into a reader, the way that I picked up a middle grade book and was turned into a reader and a writer. So like my book could be that for someone that could put them on like a lifelong journey. You know, reading has just changed my life. It's made me who I am. It's changed my perspective. It's made me more empathetic and analytical and just happy. It's such an escape. It's part of self-care. It's part of self-growth for me. And again, reading is just part of my DNA, and the fact that I'm gonna produce something that could possibly give that to a child. I'm not gonna get emotional, but oh my gosh. But okay, the meaty, juicy goodness, what you guys are here for. Just like I did with my query journey, I vlogged my entire submission journey. Now, if you weren't aware, I vlogged my entire query journey, like 2 years worth of vlog material. I broke into 2 parts. You can see me start querying to when I get an agent. I will link those videos down below. But this one is all about submission. So the first day I go on submission until I signed my contract. So I'm very excited to share that with you guys. There are some really funny moments in there, some heartwarming things. I cry on the internet. Which is kind of embarrassing. I guess we're at that point in our life. I also thought I would put up a chatty video about like how I got my agent, because I haven't actually done that. Like I said, I put up my querying vlog, but for people that just want like a succinct sit down video, like chatting about how all of that happened, I thought I would go ahead and post that. So maybe new people to the channel could, you know, learn about how I got an agent. I'm also going to do the same thing, like a sit down chatty video about how I got my book deal start to finish, give you all of the details, basically kind of summarizing what's happening in the submission journey vlog. Then I have a video that I plan that's kind of like my author career branding moving forward, kind of the books I plan to write in the future, how I see my author career evolving, where I want to go, all of the works I want to get contracted, like, you know, all of that fun juicy stuff. Then I am going to be talking about selling a book at auction, what that was like, the nitty-gritty, the emotions, everything you need to know about going to auction. And possibly the most exciting video is that I'm gonna make a video talking about money and like all of the things that I plan to put my advance towards, both business and pleasure, because like I said, your girl achieved her lifetime goal at 27. I deserve to buy myself some goodies. And then I plan on doing a video about things I wish I knew before going on submission to publishers, kind of like hindsight looking back. And then just like when I got my agent, I thought it would be helpful to do a Q&A, because I'm sure there's a lot of questions or things that I'll gloss over, or just things you're curious to know more about. So if you have any questions and want to be part of the Q&A, make sure to leave those down below. I'm not going to be doing this for a couple weeks, but if you go ahead and leave a question, I will add it to the queue. I will also be posting on Instagram for questions, so make sure you're following me there. That's where I usually update first before I get to YouTube. So look out for that. And then I had this video planned for like literally years, and I just haven't got around to doing it because it's one of those themed vlogs that just is going to take a lot of work, but I'm excited to do it. And it's kind of based off what Kate Kavanaugh did like a year ago, where she basically lived like her character for a day. I thought that would be really fun, living like my main character, Addie. There will be like baking, eating with the family. Again, she's staying at a magical rabbit sanctuary, so there will be bunnies. I have a pet bunny. There's magic, so I could do something fun with that. And then of course, you know, she's in a pageant, so I can get all dressed up and, you know, have some fun Halloween hijinks. I just think that would be really fun. I don't know when I'm gonna get around to this video, but hopefully it will be towards, you know, it'll be happening. And last but not least, I thought I'd get a little bit personal. There will be a scene in the submission journey vlog that you guys will get to see, where I'm basically making sure that on the night that I got my first offer and I knew that I was gonna have a book deal, I wrote a journal, because I want to keep this forever so that like, I can look back on it and remember how I was feeling and thinking at the time. And it's a little personal, but I just thought I would share it with you guys because it does really kind of wrap up exactly how I feel. So this is dated on March 9th, 2021. And I said, I got a book deal. I cannot believe it's real. I got an agent in 6 weeks. I went on submission 2 weeks ago. I really never thought I would ever get to be a unicorn writer, but here I am. But dang, like at least one part of the process was easy for me, because the rest of it's been pretty rough. So true, so true. And it's not even over. We just got one offer on the book, and there are 15 other editors still reading right now. It's happening so fast and nothing feels real. Like it's just kicked in that I got an agent, and that took 6 weeks, LOL. There's so many little things from today I never want to forget. The way Brian picked me up and spun me around the room when he found out I got a book deal. The way Dad hugged me when we surprised him by showing up at his house. The faces Mom made, the shock, the surprise as we told her. The way my Aunt Judy screamed and jumped up and down when we showed up at her place because she just knew. And this might sound extra woo-woo, but a dove was calling in our backyard this morning. That never happens. And I always associate that sound with my mama. So it was like she was there with me or telling me everything was falling into place. I did it, mama. I did it. But anyways, you guys, that's the video. This was just short. I don't even know if this was actually short, but it was quick, succinct. Just telling you guys I sold a book, and I can't wait to take you guys on the journey with everything that's coming along or coming forward. And thank you so much for being here for this whole journey. I can't wait to see what happens next.